Hi, my name is Ruth Stone. This is for Education 504, the Educational Thinker Project. And I chose John Holt as my theorist, and he's quite an interesting gentleman, and we will see how he has influenced the educational world we live in today. He was born on April 14th, 1923, and he worked as a high school English, French, and mathematics teacher in Colorado, Rocky Mountain School, Carbondale, Colorado from 1953 to 57. From 1957 to 59, he was a teacher at Shady Hill School, Cambridge, Massachusetts. He was also a secondary school English teacher from 1959 to 1963 at Leslie Ellis School, Cambridge, in Boston, Massachusetts. From 1965 to 67, he was a teacher at Commonwealth School in Boston. He was visiting a lecturer in education at Harvard University, Cambridge in 1968. He was also a visiting lecturer at the University of California, Berkeley in 1969. Mr. Holt did start the Holt Association and was the president of it from 1965 to 1985 when he passed. He had passed away on September 14th, 1985 in Boston, Massachusetts with cancer. He studied in industrial administration at Yale. He actually became an education philosopher by accident. That was not his intention. He was a progressive that became a leading theorist on learning. He taught himself French, Italian, the cello, water skiing, horseback riding, and the violin, all at a later age. His teaching career was limited to private schools due to not having a proper teaching certificate or education, so therefore he was not allowed to teach in public schools. He taught English, French, and mathematics in various states. The root of his ideas on learning came from observing children and his own learning experiences. He believed that children tended to learn things based on their curiosity, and they should not be forced to learn. He believed the education system today was flawed, and it did not work. Some of his educational ideas: he believed students could learn far more on their own than in the classroom. He believed children were born biologically desiring to learn. He believed we're all born to want to learn, and we should not be forced, and we should be able to learn in the areas that best interest us. He believes students should be taught how to learn and then be able to explore areas of interest. He believed that by trying to regulate or controlling learning skills, he believed that by trying to regulate or control learning skills would kill it. Believed that humans are animals that are born to learn and good at it. The school is an artificial institution, and the home is natural, comfortable one to learn in. He believed that students tend to learn better in a comfortable environment, which would, of course, be the home instead of school. And he believes schools care most about the appearance of knowledge, but not the actual understanding of the material being taught. That is thoroughly shown in today's society and public education when SOL standards are brought to the forefront versus the actual knowledge of the student. Some of his educational influences: he wrote various books on why unschooling was important. He showed and proved that current educational systems need improvement. He coined the term unschooling, also homeschooling. He was known as a bold advocate for education reform. He was a leading supporter for homeschooling, also known again as unschooling. His theories were influential and helped develop teacher training programs and curriculum. Holt's theories and books helped raise critical questions regarding the situation of American education. This brought the forefront of a lot of parents pulling their kids out of school, and they believed that homeschooling was the best option for them and their children. He also was asked one time in a survey why he felt that homeschooling was a good option, and he said, if a child is feeling kind of tired or out of sorts or a little bit sick or kind of droopy in spirits, okay, we take it easy and things go along very calmly and easily. When the child is full of energy and rambunctious, then we tackle big projects. We try tough stuff. We look at hard books. And I think schools could do much more than they do in this kind of flexibility, but in fact they don't. He says that I want to make it clear that I don't see homeschooling as some kind of answer to badness of schools. I think that the home is the proper base for the expression of the world which we call learning or education. So he didn't necessarily have issues with public schools, but he just felt that the home was the best place to explore the world and to learn. A critic of his was Franz Zosa, who said, "I have no doubt that our current ways of educating children need serious reevaluation, and that education at home may prove to be one of the number of appropriate responses to school incompetence or injustice. However, Holt's advocacy of a single solution to the multiplicity of problems we now face in education is naive and misleading." I think that Franz Zosa thought that Holt was making unschooling or homeschooling as perfect, when in fact there are also some left out flaws in homeschooling as well, and that the public school system is not always flawed. My viewpoints, I agree with some of the points that Mr. Holt had. However, I do feel that I am a product of a positive public school system, and I do feel that I learned a lot and I learned to love to learn. And so Mr. Holt's theory that learning has to be taught um, and can't be done so properly in a public setting, I do feel like that debunks his theory, because I do love to learn. Thank you, and I hope you've enjoyed this program.